Again, welcome everyone. Very happy that you've joined this tech community session. So an opportunity to meet in the virtual space, and it's the session is called AI tagging for ChatMap geolocated pictures. So I'm sure all of you here because you're interested in what this is all about. We'll have 1 hour for this session, and you'll hear from a few of us. So you'll hear from myself, from the humanitarian OpenStreetMap team, Emmy, you see on camera now, who is also from the hot tech team, and also Jeremy from Fulton Ring. You get more information from us as well. But let's start. We'll start with just explaining a bit the idea and the concept, and we'll have plenty of time to try this out all together. So I'll hand over to Emmy to kick us off.
Okay, thank you, Petya. Welcome everyone. So we are here to present you a couple of things, not only OSM Tiger, but also ChatMap in a way. ChatMap is I call it a new way of mapping because it's mapping with chat apps, like instant messaging apps, something that is, sorry, I am mute some notifications, sorry. Okay, now, okay. So ChatMap is a new way of mapping. It's a way of mapping with chat apps like Signal, Telegram, and WhatsApp. And it's a new tool that we have been developing in the last months, and it's starting to get a lot of tracking, a lot of usage. So there are several projects that are being done with ChatMap. We can go to the next slide, please, I think. And this is how the idea of ChatMap born. So we have this challenge that it was that mapping can look easy for some people, especially people like us, like do mapping all the time and work with geospatial data, we are like very into this topic. And especially for us, like I am a software developer, so for me, it's like installing apps and trying software is something very common, but for a lot of other people, could be really hard. Could be hard to just maybe install an app and understand that there is a map and there is a geospatial system, and a lot of concepts could be really new for people. And maybe they want just to share data, share the place where they live, share locations along with other data, and that could be useful for different use cases like ecology, environmental topics, or risk management and uh, culture, community, a lot of things. So how? So we have this challenge. In the next slide, we see something interesting. That was this question, and this was a real question that I found in LinkedIn, really. So, what if communities could simply and easily utilize existing apps for mapping? So this was like our question at the time, and if we go to the next slide, we'll see that these big numbers. Like 3.5 billion people in the world already use an instant messaging app for communications on a routine basis, many of them in a high vulnerability location. So, for example, here in Latin America, everyone use WhatsApp. It's like really, really, really common. I have been making um, I sometimes I buy things through WhatsApp, like directly by the chat. If I have a problem with my banking, with the bank, I chat with the people that assist me. I am also a volunteer firefighter, and in the fire station we use WhatsApp to
That's
know
crazy. That's
when
so
there is
embedded.
an emergency, and when we have to respond, and sometimes we even receive locations, and that is something that happened a lot, and we discovered that it's happening a lot, that institution gets location from people to ask for help, to ask for a lot of things. So yeah, we have this situation. So sorry, I am. So we came up with this solution that is, hey, what if we can create a tool for people to upload chats? And sorry, some people, I will mute. Sorry. What if we can upload chats and create maps with them? So this started with just a very simple script, a Python script. So a very simple technical thing to extract locations from a exported chat, exported WhatsApp chat. And then this evolved to a tool that is called ChatMap. And I will write here the URL, chatmap.hotosm.org. And with this tool, you can take a chat that was exported from WhatsApp, Telegram, or Signal. Currently, we are working mostly with WhatsApp, and maybe second came Telegram, but we really want to support different instant messaging apps, not only WhatsApp. So you can export a chat from the app, upload this zip to ChatMap, and you will be able to see in seconds. You will be able to see in seconds a map with all the shared locations, along content with content that was shared in that conversation. That content will be imagery, video, or text. All right. So we have this tool. And next slide, please, Betty. So and now this tool is started to be more or less popular. There are several projects that we are not even like supporting directly, but people are just finding this useful and they are using it. Yesterday, for example, I saw a map for an international airport, and they are using ChatMap for mapping issues in the main airway of the international airport in a city in Mexico. So that was really pretty interesting use case. So people are starting to use this more and more. So we have this long-term vision that maybe people will start contributing easily with tons of local data, including text, pictures, and videos. So we asked ourselves how we can make use of this open data for open mapping, and how we can put cutting edge, cutting edge AI tech into the hands of communities. So and see you see an example of this of what we want to do with this approach or this strategy. That is, if we have a picture, in this case of a road, is one use case. If we have a picture of a road with a location that was obtained from a chat that was shared by someone, um, what we it will be possible to extract OSM tags from that image, and then we can use those tags to edit and update OSM. So that is our long-term vision. If we start to getting more and more and more pictures, we have to find a way to use this data, not only the picture that we see, but also to extract more metadata, more information from these pictures, and then try to use this data in OSM for real. So next slide.
Okay. I'll start here, but I hope um, yeah, we'll get recording and all that. But what I wanted to speak now is, you've heard from Emmy about the problem and the experimentation, or the idea we had is like, what if this open data is being used, and then being able to use the image or text, and contributing into into the map. So that's where actually when this idea came and we took part, so the humanitarian OpenStreetMap team, that myself and Amy are part of the tech team. We took part in kind of a collaboration of what's called Tech to the Rescue. So you can look up as well online. There are non-governmental organization that actually matches organizations like us, like HOT, with businesses, with other companies that want to provide pro bono work, or that they want to kind of give their free time to work with us, give their developer time to try this experimentation. And that's where I'll move on to the next slide. So that's how we were able to try this out, right? So it's still, and you will be part of trying this experimentation that now we're having with this long-term vision. But we weren't going to be able to, dedicate resources really at this time on this idea. And that's where we were so excited actually last year to have this. They call it like a match. So, Tech to the Rescue. So that's when Jeremy and Rajan from Fulton Ring reached out to us and we started working on this concept. So I want to introduce you to Jeremy, who can also briefly, mention why they chose this project. And I will just start by saying a huge thank you for all the work that you did on this, that now people are able to actually try out.
Oh, thanks, Betcha. Yeah, hi. So I'm Jeremy. I'm from Fulton Ring. We're a software consulting firm in New York, and we focus on building AI applications for companies. And so when we reached out to Hot and we learned about their use case, basically we learned that so there's the problem of getting like intelligence that's collected on the ground. And this is really important for Hot because it's changing all the time. So you could have, conditions where like a building it no longer exists, or like a road is in a much different condition than it was before. And so right now, the way that the workflow is that people, they have mappers on the ground that are collecting all this information and manually tagging images. And we thought it would be really cool if we could try to automate or at least give like mappers an easier way of taking that intel and instead of manually tagging it, having tags that were generated for the pictures that they were taking and helping them get that shared to other users much faster. So so for example, I think we could probably move on to the next slide. Yeah, so in this example, so what we started off with was with road tagging. So right now, when people use ChatMap, they'll take pictures of things like roads, and they'll say that, this is an asphalt road and it's good and it's pretty smooth. And so what the OSM tagger does is it'll take this picture and it'll auto-generate the first pass of what these tags should be. And then the person who's taking the picture, they can confirm whether or not these are correct and make corrections to it. And so I think, and so right now we've just started with roads, but we want to expand in the future to other things that someone might encounter. So I can give a quick overview of how this works. So we're using open source LLMs, vision language models to figure out the tags for an image that's uploaded to ChatMap. Basically what we do is we take that image and then we cross-reference it against a database of other similar images. I guess you could kind of consider this like a vision RAG system. And so once we have those similar images, we can use that to kind of guide what tags are generated for whatever was uploaded. Um, and so yeah, I think at this point it's we can go ahead and move on to like demoing and like showing like how this works in real life. Um, yeah. Oh, sorry. My bad. I read ahead. Uh, yeah.
No.
So yeah.
We can go in, yeah, in a second. And I think, I don't know, I think Amy prepared the slide, but coming back to, some of you, what Jeremy just spoke about, maybe it's, the more technical details. You don't need to know that, the whole, or if you're interested in knowing, you can learn more. But otherwise, the whole kind of idea and the focus, and I think why you're all here is about like making it local, right? So it's the knowledge, and that's why I'm excited that we actually have participants from all different parts of the world joining us today. And the second thing that I think I'll flag here is Jeremy and Amy also said that we are actually now just focusing on roads. So this is kind of the first, we'll be sharing images of roads, but the vision is bigger, right? So we are experimenting and trying this, and trying this today as well with all of you. And we are using ChatMap, so you hear now about this, but the idea of this and having the API is that maybe, I'm not sure in this audience, if we have people who maybe have other applications that might make use of this, you can always, check the GitHub and reach out to us. So over to you, Emmy, maybe on the next one as we move, and I'll share the links again, but let us know if there are any questions as we go along. Please add to the chat and we'll have plenty of time as well. Great. Maybe we pause for 2 minutes for any questions and then we move on, yeah, if that's okay. So Martin, I think you have one. Where is the AI training data coming from, us or also other parts of the world?
US,
yeah,
US
go ahead.
United States, US.
Sorry. My bad, US. No, so I think Jeremy can add a bit more of what we've trained so far, but on the data, the current data, but the idea is to go beyond that. So far it's mainly been, Europe.
Oh yeah, sorry. So I was gonna respond in chat, but basically, we're using Mapillary's training data set. And so it's a bunch of images of roads that were taken. They have their smoothness and their surface. Those I think so most of those tags, those images were taken in Germany. It's a pretty good mix of images, but we're going to be expanding that data set to other parts of the world.
Thank you, Jeremy.
The idea is the idea is that in the future we will able to even we will be able to use the location of the picture along with the picture to get pictures that are close to your picture, and so we can have a more localized data set when we are getting the tags from that, because as you know, for example, in the case of roads, a road could be very different. A road that can be considered in terrible situation in Europe could be great for us. So the smoothness, for example, the smoothness tag in OSM is very relative and depending on different parts of the world. So yeah, we want to do that. For now, we are experimenting with a limited data set, but that will change in the future.
Okay. Any other questions we can also take? Otherwise, as we go along, I think now we can go into the okay. So I'll now we go to the part where we try it out, and I think that's also the exciting part, because you're all joining from different parts of the world, and indeed, the training so far has been mainly on images from Germany. Ralph, do you have a question? I just saw your hand raised.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hear what's happening, and I see that all of these apps that start up like this all start at a similar or same place, either buildings or roads or something. We already have something in place called Street Complete that allows people to walk along the street. What they see, all they do is they tap on a button that says, yes, that's asphalt, no, that's unpaved, and it automatically tags and puts that status onto OpenStreetMap direct. So here we are, I'm looking here and you're talking about this, and I see you duplicating something that's already there. All the person needs is a Street Complete app, and it goes direct to OpenStreetMap. They don't have to upload pictures and go to all that kind of problem. What I would like to see is the app concentrate on the things that we can't do through Street Complete, the more complex items like shop fronts, individual trees, like what kind of a tree is that, things that we don't have the ability to do that easily on the existing apps. Just a thought that rather than duplicating, why don't we add to what we've already got? Um, Back to you, Petra.
Yeah, I can answer that. Yeah, we usually use like common and simple data set for starting with, because that is something that we need for the first steps of software development. If we start with something where we don't have a good data set, like for example, in this case, we need imagery and we need OSM tags. So in the case of roads, there are good data sets for that. So it's something that we can start working on. At the same time, it's something that is not, a lot of times the tag is not available on the road. For example, here we have a lot of roads that are not tagged. It only says it says if it is a highway, primary highway, but we don't have smoothness, we don't have the surface and for example, in our case, and as firefighters, this is very important because we really want to know those kind of things. So this in the case of roads, it is at the same time something that we have data to experiment with, and also is we have a use case that is very clear. So that is why we choose to work with roads in this case, and also why we choose to work with buildings maybe in other cases, in other projects. In this case, we choose roads. Uh, that is why we choose roads. And then, yes, I know Street Complete. I love Street Complete. I have here in my house also a fan of the Street Complete. Street Complete is a wonderful tool. I think we should push the usage of Street Complete more and more. But even Street Complete that looks easy for us is not that easy for other people. And at the same time, the ChatMap tool is being used for other things, not only for add more tags to OSM, but also to create other kind of maps for other use cases. We have citizen activism in Mexico, for example, where people reported the issues with the mobility infrastructure, also disaster preparedness, environmental projects. So there are different people using the tool for different use cases. So yeah, we really want to make some use of this data, and that is why we are uh, working with this idea of using AI in some way to take advantage of all this data and not only having just pictures, but also starting to get metadata from them.
Yeah.
And there is a question also that I can answer. So Derek asked if why they need to share location and image in the chats. I will show you how to use ChatMap next. But basically, when you share a picture on a chat, the EXIF metadata that usually have the location of the picture is not available on this case, because WhatsApp will be anonymizing that data, will be removing the EXIF data from the picture, so we only have the picture. So the way that we found to work with this system is that people will share a picture and a location, or a location and a picture is the same. There is not a problem if data mix from different users on the chat. ChatMap will take care of that. And this is a way for people to basically have a user experience that is very common, very familiar with an existing app that is already installed in their phones. So they just need to join a group, share location, share picture, and that's all what they have to do. So for mappers, some people, they are not even feel that they are mappers, but they are just people sharing content. That makes that's lower the barrier um, to a very low place, so everyone can get involved and participate without almost any training. So yeah,
Okay.
um, that's it.
I think we start. I think the one thing I wanted to, and I think Ralph, yeah, exactly to your question, I do think, you have apps like Street Complete, but they're still not as easy, as people who might just want to share something on WhatsApp. So the use case is different in terms of the duplication. So I've kept this slide for quite some time, then I'll stop. I think we had quite a few people joining the groups. And this is one way. I think I just wanted to mention, if anyone is, it is a community, it's a group that all of us are joining for the purpose of sharing these images and trying this out. But also with the tagger, we also did like a short kind of URL for a demo where you can also just upload a photo in there. So if anyone is like, I don't want to join these groups, you can also like drop a message, and I can show you the links where you can separately try this out. I'm just gonna here show you, and then maybe Amy will move on to your screen. So we go into the next. I'm not sure if
Yeah.
this we wanted to. Oh, actually, it was in the slide. So let me just quickly share this. I think most of you, I've seen quite a few people joining already, but just wanted to say that for us, it's important. This is one way through WhatsApp in these groups, we'll show you. But there's also this URL that I'm going to share, which is basically you need a URL of the image to try this. And I'll send you some links as well. If we don't yet have the option of being able to upload straight away your image to this kind of demo. But yeah, I will focus today more on the groups, and then using the image and seeing what results we get from there. So I'm gonna stop sharing. So Amy, we can.
I will share my screen then.
Yeah.
So I can also explain a little bit about how to work with ChatMap.